guys, it's Kimberly and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the new foundation from Wet n Wild, and it is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I'm going to give you my thoughts, the pros and the cons, and is it really worth your money? I know Wet n Wild is pretty affordable, but even when I purchase affordable makeup and it doesn't work out, I'm still a little disappointed that I just wasted money. So I'm going to let you know if this is worth your money, and if you want to know my thoughts, just keep watching. Okay guys, so here is the foundation. This is what it looks like. Now this foundation retails for $5.99, which is how much I purchased it at my local Walgreens. It's also $5.99 on their website, but if you get it at like Walmart, you might be able to get it cheaper, or if you do decide to purchase it at like a CVS or Walgreens or Rite Aid, there's always sales, like there's always 40% off, buy one get one free. So you can always wait around for some sales to get something at the drugstore for a more affordable price than it already is. So it's $5.99. It's in a glass bottle, which I'm very impressed with, because for it to be $5.99, they splurged for glass, which I think is excellent. Because glass, I feel like it gives it some weight to it and it doesn't feel cheap. So I really appreciate the fact that they put it in a glass bottle. Now when you open it, it has this little like spatula type paddle to it that almost has like a little bit of a scoop to it almost. I've applied it with, the spatula or paddle directly to my face. I don't really like that. I don't know why. It's not a big deal. I just don't like that type of method because I feel like I don't know how much I'm putting in one spot, because you can swipe it with the spatula and a lot comes off on one part of your face, and on the other part a lot doesn't come off. Anyway, so what I do is I usually just put it on the back of my hand and then go from the back of my hand and dot it on my face. That's how I like to apply it. That's how I apply a lot of my foundations. So that's just what works for me. But that, again, is preference. I know some people love the spatula. Some people don't. I can take it or leave it. It doesn't really bother me. This is a very liquidy foundation. I don't know if you can see. So it also has, it smells like paint. Like the kind of paint you paint your house. So it makes you wonder, should I be putting this on my face? But the smell doesn't linger, so it goes away. It doesn't linger on your skin, so if someone walks by, they're like, what's that smell? But anyway, so $5.99, it's in a glass bottle. In my local Walgreens, there was about 9 shades available. However, online, they have 20 shades available, which is awesome, because a lot of times drugstore foundations do not cater to a lot of different skin tones. Now, I do wish that they would bring all of those 20 shades to the drugstore so we could have a lot more to choose from versus the 9 that I saw in my local Walgreens. But that is what it is. So if you saw this in the drugstore and you couldn't find your shade, check online, because like I said, they had a huge range from fair to deep skin tones that look like they would cater a lot of different people. If not, find your correct shade, maybe find one that'll at least work for you. So the first shade that I picked up was actually Porcelain, which is a more warm tone shade, and it actually says that on the bottle. I'm usually the lightest shade there is in foundation, if not the second to lightest. So I bought this. It was a little too yellow for me, which I should have known that when it said warm on there. So I went and purchased the second lightest shade, which is Shell Ivory, and this is the more neutral shade. However, I don't know, this one didn't work as good either. So I have recently been mixing them together, and now that works, and that's more of my type of a color. So I mixed these two together and it's been working pretty good for me. So I've been talking so much, I'm losing my breath. Okay. So when I first got it home and I started applying it, I was like, oh, it's so liquidy. It's not going to be it's not going to have a lot of coverage. I was pretty bummed about it, to be honest, because typically liquidy foundations, they usually don't have a lot of coverage. So I was pleasantly surprised that it had good coverage. Now, when I'm buying or when I purchase a new foundation, I have 2 criteria. One, I want coverage, because if I'm going to go through the process of putting foundation on my face, I want it to cover. Now, I don't mean I'm looking for 100% full coverage. However, I am looking for a solid medium coverage foundation. And I have to say, this one is definitely a medium coverage foundation. It almost veers full coverage, if you build it up. So typically what I do is I apply one layer to my face, and then the areas where, you know what, I can still see some stuff poking through or I want a little more coverage, then I take my brush and I dip a little bit more product on my brush, and then I go over those areas in a stippling motion. I don't go and buff it back in, I just stipple over it, and I feel like it, you know, builds pretty good. I mean, not great. It's not going to give you 100% full coverage, but it does lend more towards a full coverage if you use that method. So that's how I like to apply it. My second criteria for foundation. So the first one is coverage. The second criteria is lasting power. Again, if I'm going to go through the process of applying foundation, I want it to last. I don't want to look at myself in the mirror 4 hours later and the makeup is like moving and sliding and slipping off my face. Like, that's not what I want, because I don't have time to retouch up throughout the day or take all my makeup off and put it all back on. So, which, by the way, this is what I have on my face right now. And guys, I just got home from work. So you are seeing my makeup after an 8-hour day of work. So I'm a little shiny. I actually need a blot and powder, but I wanted to do this video while I had time. So this foundation has really good lasting power. I would say after about 8 hours, like in the next hour or so, you're going to really start to see that I'm getting more and more shiny and that it's going to start moving around a little bit. So I'd have to say 8 to 10 hours is just about all you're going to get out of this foundation, and that is if you powder and you don't touch your face a lot. Which is another trick. If you want to make your foundation and makeup last, stop touching your face, because the oils on your fingers get on your face and then things just start slipping and sliding. So this foundation meets both of those criteria. It gives me coverage, it lasts. So those are definitely A plus. Wait, no. So those are my pros. I'm delirious. Okay. So the cons would have to be, one, that it has like a wonky smell. And two, I wish they would bring all those shades that's on the internet to the drugstore, which they may do that. Once they realize that, you know, we really like this stuff, maybe they'll bring out all those shades to the drugstore. So I don't know. There's wishful thinking, because I'm a fair-skinned girl. However, sometimes I have a difficult time finding a shade that matches in the drugstore. So, and the one I think of just recently that I purchased was the Milani Conceal and Perfect. And I bought the lightest shade that they had, came home, and it was 2 shades too dark. So even if you're a fair-skinned girl, sometimes it's just difficult to find your match in the drugstore. So I get it. So I wish that they would bring them to the people. Bring them to the drugstore so we can buy them. Come on, Wet n Wild. So all in all, I think this is a solid product. I love it. I'm so glad I found this foundation. I forgot to tell you. So the whole claim behind this foundation is that it doesn't cause flashback in like flash photography, which I don't take a whole lot of flash photography, but if you do, you know, sometimes the white particles in the makeup will like flashback. If you don't know what flashback is, Google makeup flashback and it'll pull up all kinds of celebrities that have had their picture taken under flash photography with makeup that either has SPF or any other kind of white pigments that's in the foundation, and it'll flash back and you will look like, you'll have like spots like where you look like a ghost. I will insert a picture right now of me taking a picture with the flash on my camera. So it doesn't cause any flashbacks. So the claims are correct, people. They're not lying to us. So, okay guys, that's it. I think this is worth your money. So if you want to go spend $6.99, no. If you want to go spend $6.99, it is worth your money. So if you're looking for a new drugstore foundation, I highly recommend this. All right, guys, until next time,